Have you ever thought, I'm not good enough? Or what are people going to think of me? It's a trick question. Of course you have, because you're an awesome human. Well, you are in the right place because this is the Rock Your Life radio show, and I'm your host, Arriane Alexander. And my superpower is to help people just like you bust through your fears, create more confidence, and take courageous action so you can truly have the life, business, and relationships you desire. I've been a business and life coach for over 15 years, and I'm a video expert and creator of the Lights, Camera, Cash video marketing program. Each week, I'm sharing powerful tools for you to shift your mindset, empower yourself, and remember who you truly are so you can rock your life. You ready? Let's do this. You don't actually have to believe it to achieve it. What? What's this lady saying? I know. You've read all the books that say, believe in yourself, and you just gotta believe, and believe it, and you'll achieve it. Well, I think they're wrong. What is this lady talking about? Here's the deal. We have a lot of ways that our mind thinks we should do things, but once you can get out of your mind and just get into action and creating things, it's a whole new story. So I'm going to tell you about a little story about my life that is a perfect example of how you don't have to believe in yourself in order to create it. So I grew up as a cowgirl in Kansas. I'm from Kansas and Oklahoma, and I worked hard, and I was an executive in the fashion business. And one day I had this dream that I was going to be a famous plus size model. You know, plus size means a size 10 and up. So that's a story for another day. But I was probably like a size 12 or 14, living in Oklahoma, like this little cowgirl from Oklahoma in my 20s. And I was like, I'm going to be a famous plus size model. That's kind of back in the day, 20 years ago when plus size models were just becoming a thing. So I literally believed I was going to become one of the top plus size models in the industry. Because I was like, well, I'm pretty and I'm professional and I'm driven and I'm plus size and I've always just done what I want to do. I've always just created my businesses and my life and whatever it is that I want to do. So I sat in my house in Oklahoma City and decided that I was going to be a famous plus size model, and I was dead set on it. And I went to a modeling agency in Oklahoma City, and the lady looked at me. She's like, "You'll never be a famous plus size model because basically like you're too old and you're not pretty enough," or something like that. And I was like, well, I'm going to prove her wrong. So I went to Chicago. I moved to Chicago to model, and I got repped by one of the top modeling agencies, which was Elite Modeling Agency, a huge agency at the time. So I was sure, like, oh my God, I got signed with Elite Modeling Agency, so I am on my way to fame and fortune as a model. Well, wrong. I was a terrible model. I was super awkward taking all my quote model pics, and I wasn't having fun. And whenever I would get in the camera, I would just freeze up and I would just not be myself. And you have to be all serious and smoldering to be a model. And I was just not that. I could not have this smoldering, serious aspect about myself. So I basically was a terrible model, and I didn't book any jobs. I would go on auditions all the time for modeling, and I wouldn't book them. And finally, like a year after that, super top modeling agency signed me, they called me and they fired me. They said, Arriane, you haven't booked anything all year, so we have to drop you. Oh my gosh. My dreams were crushed, like crushed. For years, I had thought I was going to be this famous plus size model. And within a year, that dream gone. Because then it was like, well, what am I going to do? Move to New York, where I'm already older now? Like, no one's going to sign me in New York if they didn't want me in Chicago. So it was a crushing moment. I remember just laying on my floor, bawling my eyeballs out because I had this dream that I believed so strongly in, that I was going to be this famous plus size model, and it just dropped right in front of me. So this is where I learned in that moment in my 20s that even though I believed in what I was creating and what I was going to do, it didn't matter because life had another journey for me. So it's a hard lesson to learn of like, oh my God, I really believed it. And for it to not come to manifestation was one of the hardest moments in my life. I can laugh at it now, looking at how ridiculous it all was, that I was so crushed that I wasn't going to be a famous plus size model. But that was my reality in that day. But what happened then was that I'm such a believer that life shows you what's next. Life shows you immediately course corrective feedback where to go next. So the minute I got fired after the modeling agency, a few other things happened in my life that set my life in a completely new direction. I ended up moving to California within a couple of months, when I was still in the fashion business. And fast forward 15, 20 years later, I have an amazing business as a business and life coach. I'm a working actor on some of your favorite TV shows. I've hosted a TV show for over a decade. Like, I have this amazing life and career in California that has nothing to do with being a famous plus size supermodel. So life gave me feedback that I said was such a crappy model. But life gave me feedback that this was not my path. I believed it was my path, but my soul had a different journey in mind for me. It had something different that it wanted me to explore. So it course corrected me. It got me fired from elite modeling agency and set me on a different path to Los Angeles to be on a completely different journey and end up being a life coach and business coach and helping people all over the world. So, oh my gosh, it turned out so much better than I could ever imagine, but I had no idea in the moment that's what would happen. So sometimes the belief isn't the thing that drives you forward. It's just taking the next steps in front of you and following life's guidance. Because as we continue to lean in to the different things that we're interested in, that you're interested in, that I'm interested in, the things that call to us, that the little business ideas and the relationship opportunities and all the different things that come in, as we listen to those and we lean into them, life will immediately give you course corrective feedback. It'll be like, yes, keep going in this direction, or no, shift courses and go in a different direction. But it's not up to you to try to force it, because as life loves you so much, it is going to show you which direction to go to. I always tell my clients this for years. I say, you don't ever have to make a decision, because the decision is always made for you in the moment. Because even if you believe you can do something and then it doesn't happen, well, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. And you don't have to decide whether you're going to continue with it or not. The decision, I didn't have to decide whether I was going to continue modeling or not. Life decided for me that it was time to go in a different direction. So what happens if you don't believe in yourself and you have that thing of I want to build my business, I want to build a 6-figure business, or I want to be in partnership with my beloved, or I want to have a great relationship with my husband or my kids, or I want to, take this hobby and turn it into a business. Any of those things, whether it's life, business, relationships, any of it. Oh, I want to lose weight. That's always a big one. I want to, release body weight, but I don't believe I can do it. So most of you are probably sitting in the place of you don't believe you can do the thing you want to do. Okay. So I give you an example of how I actually believed I could do something and it didn't manifest. But most people think they can't do something. They believe they can't do it. For something in your mind, think of this area of life that you're really excited about, that you really want to create. But when you listen to that inside voice, it doesn't believe that you can do it. And you have a thought that, well, if I just believe it, then I can create it. But here's the deal. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe that you're going to create a 6-figure business. You don't have to believe that you're going to find your beloved and have this awesome relationship. You don't have to believe that you can release the next 20 pounds. You don't have to believe any of this, because that's just a thought anyway. Do you see? Beliefs are just thoughts. You have 80,000 thoughts a day. You don't have to believe all of them or you would go insane. So you don't have to believe the thoughts that say you can't do it, and you don't have to believe the thoughts that say you can do it, because it doesn't matter either way. Because as you continue to move forward in the thing that you're creating, as you continue to listen to your inner guidance in the thing that you're creating, as you continue to take courageous action towards the thing that you want to create, that's how you're going to move forward. It's not whether you believe in yourself or not, because you can try to unwind out of that all day long, but you still have to do the steps in the physical world reality of taking courageous action, of showing up, of, taking responsibility for your actions. So that's why you can really soften in the place that you don't have to believe in yourself. So I've got a million examples of this in my own life. And probably acting is a probably really big one for me, because I got in the entertainment business late in life, like in my 30s. So getting in the entertainment business as a woman in her 30s in Los Angeles is like, I'm an old lady, right? Like, nobody's looking for a 35-year-old white woman in Los Angeles to be on their television shows. There's enough of them in there already out here. So I never really believed that I could have a successful career as an actor. I was just like, well, it's fun and I enjoy it. And I'm so creative. I love the entertainment business and I'm super creative. So this is awesome. So I didn't walk into the entertainment business believing that I was going to be a series regular on a show or have this huge career. I just did it because it was fun and it was interesting and I liked it and I liked how I felt when I acted, and it was a challenge for me to learn how to act. Oh my God, learning how to act is so hard. And I just kept going. I just kept taking acting classes, and I kept doing like every class in Los Angeles, improv classes and comedy classes, and you name it, I was doing it. And I just kept taking action, and I kept showing up for the next thing, and I kept facing my fears. And that's a huge part of this, of why you don't have to believe in yourself, because your fears are going to come up as you move towards the thing that you really desire. But as long as you keep taking steps forward and moving through that fear, that's what's going to take you to the next step. So one of my teachers used to always say, the fear is always going to be there. Just walk through the fear anyway. And I think that's a great way to think about it, because you just never know, what's going to be next for you. So I think that when you don't believe in what you're going to create, don't worry about it. Just take the next steps forward. Listen to your inner guidance. Listen to, get quiet and ask, like, what's the next step I can take towards this? And it probably is going to feel uncomfortable, and it should. Because as we move forward and break through our fears, we're going to move into discomfort. You're used to living your life in a place of comfort. You're used to living your life in a safe zone, even if it doesn't feel good to you. Okay. So if you're growing your business and you want to actually create a 6-figure business, but you are struggling in that and you're not doing it yet, you're gonna have to take action steps, courageous action steps that take you outside your comfort zone. And it's gonna be uncomfortable. And that's okay, because that's the only way you're gonna grow, So I encourage you to, like I said, get really clear in what you're desiring to create. Figure out what are the action steps that you need to take towards it, the courageous action steps. Don't worry if you believe in yourself or don't believe in yourself, because it doesn't matter anyway. Just keep visioning this thing you want to create, like living in the vision of what you want to create and feeling it and letting it live within you. That's what helps you create it, living it, visioning it, taking steps towards it. That's how you're going to create what you really desire. So it doesn't have anything to do with believing or not believing. Okay. So I just can't wait to see what you do with your belief and non-belief and how you can just let it go. And each week I'm going to be bringing you all kinds of different tools and techniques and guests for you to continue to bust through your own fears and learn how to take courageous action. And really, so you can rock your life in a powerful way, because you get to have the life that you desire. You get to have the life, business, and relationships you desire. And I'm here as your guide to show you how to actually do that, because anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not special. So this is Rock Your Life with Arriane Alexander, and I can't wait to talk with you next week to bring you more guests and awesomeness to help you up-level your life. And follow me on Instagram at Arriane Alexander. It's ARRIANE Alexander, ALEXANDER. And also be sure to follow Fun for Life Radio and Dash Radio so you'll be up to date on all the awesome shows we have here on this station. So I'll talk to you next week and go rock your life.